The Chic-Choc Mountains are some of the highest in Quebec. These form the backbone of the Gaspé peninsula. When I arrived, it was a clear and bright sunny summer day, so green. One of the first sounds I heard was Helen's Falls off in the distance, this huge waterfall. I wanted to get there, so the next morning I head off hiking, downhill through the pass of the Chic-Choc Mountains. There are so many trails there, they're well cared for, and what most people don't realize is this is part of the Appalachian Trail, the Quebec portion that connects to the 2,100 miles of the AT in the United States. So you can keep on hiking up through Quebec to the final end in the Gaspé Peninsula. It took me about an hour and a half to reach the base of Helen's Falls, and they were just exquisite. Rainbows everywhere, and I just couldn't resist. I jumped in and went swimming. The water was cold at first, but it was such a hot day, it felt glorious. I got used to it pretty quickly, and then I just didn't want to leave. Swimming outdoors under a waterfall is such a magnificent experience, and for me, one of the best ways to connect with nature. I've been on top of waterfalls, I've hiked around them, but to actually sit underneath one, a mountain waterfall with hundreds of feet of water pouring down on top of you, is incredible. To see how the water shapes the rock. Right here, gushing water has actually broken a hole through the rock, and you can see the process of erosion. But my day was just getting started, so after hiking and swimming and sunning myself for a bit, I got dressed and head back up the mountain. The Chic-Chocs can be steep in some places, but the trails through the woods are just beautiful, and there are hundreds of kilometers of them. This is a protected zone, and there was nobody else around when I was there. After lunch, I decided I would try my hand at mountain biking, which is something I've done before, but nothing as vigorous and intense as the Chic-Chocs. There are so many trails that go through backcountry in the Chic-Chocs, and it was pretty physically demanding, but I loved it. After 3 hours, I was completely exhausted and once again drenched in sweat. I spent the evening hunting for moose. This is the highest concentration of moose in all of Quebec, and after about 2 hours, I found my moose. Seeing a moose in the wild, these massive animals, and so quiet and so peaceful, I loved it. The evening came, the mist rolled in. It had been a very physically fulfilling day, and I ended it by relaxing.